Welcome to the World United. Welcome to the World United.
Sofia is a member of the Council of European Grandmothers, and she dreams of a world of liberated people who feel part of the universe and will experience love and service for their fellow human beings, following on beautifully from Torah. She is specialized in children and parents yoga and philosophy of yoga, authorized to give mantra initiation in the Himalayan tradition. She runs self-awareness workshops and accompagnage about death. I'm sure she can correct me on that one as well. And the dying and his beloved ones. She is an author and a translator. Sofia, welcome. It is an honor to have you with us.
It's my honor. Thank you. So the other, what you wanted me, accompagnage, it's a French word meaning being next to somebody who is at the last phase of life. Okay. So you accompany somebody who is transcending to the other world. So I had a special training about that, which was one of my fascinating.
Beautiful honor.
Yeah.
And just speaking to us today about why are Indigenous people and ancient sites important for our spiritual advancement?
Oh, well, they have all the wisdom. We are relearning from them. We are remembering, rather. You know, when you meet somebody who has this wisdom, it somehow reflects in you, and you remember everything. We forget because we live in a material world, so we forget the spiritual world. But all we have to do is to join these two worlds and make them one. This is how, you know, when I was younger, I whenever I had the problem in my everyday life, I understood that if I was looking for an answer in the material world, it was very difficult to find an answer. But my answer came from the spiritual world, which I had to join with the material world to put these two things together. That's what yoga does. And also, not only yoga, but also yoga does the same thing. And, you know, working with children, it is so easy to, because children know that. They don't know it consciously. At the beginning, I also had the kindergarten long time ago. And I was a Montessori teacher and a cafe call method teacher, and later on the yoga teacher. And my love is to work with children and parents. And I started observing children, and one of the first things I saw was their belly going in and out while breathing. You know, I said, wow, how do they know? And that was what our teachers used to say. But the children, they were 6 months old, sitting, and they knew that also. So I understood that we brought with us when we were born, we brought with us all this wisdom, all this, because we come from a spiritual world. We come from this very, what's the word? Anyway, this unseen world, and we forget because our eyes, our ears, you know, our nose, our mouth, our hands do not perceive our touch. We do not perceive, we do not see this other, and we do not hear this other world. So we forget it. We have to forget it because we have to be in this material world and learn many things from that. We have to, but not completely. So I continued observing. And another thing I saw, the babies, when they were in their mother's or father lap, they were surrendering their bodies like, they were absolutely sure nothing bad would ever happen to them. I mean, they never thought so, they never told us so, but you could see it, their hands were on their left and right, and they were so calm. Another thing, this is surrendering ourselves to this divine world, this divine atmosphere where we are swimming in. We forget it in our everyday material life. Later on, the child starts smiling and starts laughing. And as we grow up, we forget laughing. So we have already created laughter therapies groups and, laughter something, somebody call it laughter yoga, but we have to be trained again to start laughing. We lose our laughter. And I said, oh my God, what are we doing to our children? So this is how a new kind of education has come to me, and I'm working on that with different schools to establish this new kind of education. We have to go back where we were. It is not back, it's going front, it's going forth. But it's something we had and we forgot it, so we have to remember it again. The children, the younger they are, they live in the now and here. Time and space have nothing to do with them. They don't know that. We have to teach them. It is 5 o'clock, we have to teach them later. They don't have this, and they don't care about where they are, as far, of course, as they are with somebody they feel safe, mom, dad, grandma, parents, etc. They don't care about wherever we are, if we travel. They also don't care about, seeing people that have different colors. But we already, our society teaches, this is good, this color is good, this color is bad. You know what this is not normal. Yeah, we have become abnormal, of course, yes. I remember one day when my daughter was, I don't know, she was something like 2 years old, and she had started speaking and she spoke quite fluently. And it was her first time she saw a person who had the dark skin. And she said, Mama, night. This is the only dark thing she knew. Mama, night. And he was a very nice person. And he answered to her, hello, day. So he spoke in her own language, And it was such a beautiful meeting, And I said, well, some people, why do we make so many problems where they are not? I understand when we don't like somebody who is violent. I understand that. But why does a color of the skin make us discriminate people like that? Or my religion is a good religion, yours is not good. What's that? We are doing so much harm to our children with unknowingly, of course. We make them separate themselves. And the more we separate ourselves, the more we get farther away from love. Some people say the opposite of love is hatred. No, the opposite of love is fear. And thank you, Sofia, for talking about what fear is. Fear is something that makes us shrink. Love is something that makes us open. Yeah. So this is an illness, really. And when we shrink like that, when we are afraid, this is how we change our breath from diaphragmatic to a breath that is on the upper part, only on the upper part of our lungs. which is very, very shallow. And you know that when there is not enough oxygen, this prepares many illnesses, huh? Which we don't see immediately, so we don't understand that it is the result of the fear. So yeah, and as we do that, of course, our back stops being straight. So, and then we say to our children, keep your back straight. Well, we made it. I unknowingly, I'm sure all parents do everything they do it for the benefit of their children. But if we have not been trained to this subtle world, of course, we are talking to them about only the material world. We forget, if we don't forget. If we have forgotten the subtle world, of course, children will forget it with us. There was once a little girl. They were sitting with her mom in two sofas that were like the one next to the other, and they were sitting very close. And the little girl, about 2-3 years old, she said, "Mama, there is a man sitting at the other end of the coach. He's such a good man." And the lady was terrified. She called me and she said, "Oh my God, thank God it was a good man. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what to do." But when we are not afraid, our children talk to us about what they see, because they see. Until they are 7 years old, they lose, the contact of this subtle world. They lose it little by little. But if we are not afraid and we accept it, not like, oh, that's childish words, childish talk. If we accept it, then the children are not afraid to talk to us about that. If we don't accept it, they say, okay, mom doesn't understand. I won't talk to her about this anymore, mom or dad or grandma or whoever. So, let me tell you about a little bit more qualities, a little bit forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most beautiful qualities, and it is not just to say, okay, I forgive you. No, it is to change our whole attitude to the world. It is okay. It is really okay. Nothing bad will happen to me because I am conscious. I know what it means. The other person is suffering. The person that is trying that or did something wrong to me, he is suffering, maybe suffering more than I do. Of course, we will not allow somebody else to hurt us, but it doesn't mean that we have to be afraid of the other person. The less we are afraid, the better we can handle whatever happens. And now in the situation we are living, I tell the parents, because they call me, they are terrified, what are we going to do with our children? If we are not afraid, we parents are not afraid, our children will not be afraid, and their immune system will be very strong. They have counted the frequency of the COVID, this virus we have now, and it is from 5 hertz to 25 hertz. So when we forgive, as I was telling you some moments ago, when we forgive, you know how high our frequency goes? 300. These numbers are not mine. They are scientifically announced, and if we need the names, I can send them to you. So if we pray, it is also very strong. What does pray mean? No, not when I have any kind of problem, I say, oh my God, help me. I suddenly remember whatever I call it, God, nature, whatever name I give, it has nothing to do. but we remember that there is a higher, a bigger power, a bigger, how can I call it? We are swimming in that, and we are protected. We are really protected, and we are given all whatever we need to take care about our illnesses. But we must not forget the spiritual world. As I was telling you at the beginning, we have a problem in the material world. It will be solved only if we put together our spiritual world. Let me go on with children's spiritual qualities. They are so patient. You will notice that they all have a feminine quality, because spiritual is feminine. Materialistic is more masculine. Okay. So that is what is the difference between will, I want to do that. This is what we say in our everyday life. It is our ego that needs the will. But if we really want to do a very deep job, we have in the back of our head, that's how I call it, it's not a will, it is a oh, I can't remember the English name. I'll give it to you in a while.
Is it desire?
No, it is not a desire. It's not a desire. It is a I miss it right now. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. It will come, and I will tell you, because it is really very important. It is much stronger. It is the feminine part of our wanting to do things. When we have it in the back of our mind, oh, I have a dream. I would like to create a school without violence, with all these new things, to give to children. They don't have to memorize. This is not a very useful thing. We have Google now. We can, push a button and have all the information and all this. But we have to develop ourselves. And this is, nobody has taught us. And this is what has to get in schools. Intention is the word. Intention. If we have the intention to do something, this is the female way to make things happen. And they happen, and they really happen. But they happen when they are ready. It is not, I want it now. No. It has nothing to do with that. Yeah. So we have it in, I'll call it again like that, in the backside of our brain, and it will come out whenever it is ready. So we don't have to say, I want it now. This is will. But have the, how did I call it? I forgot the word again.
Intuition.
It is intuition.
Intention.
Intention, right. Yeah. To have the intention. Thank you. Other I was talking to you about patience. Patience is a spiritual quality. Once, when I had the kindergarten, I used to take children at the sea. We have sea around. It is very easy. But when parents were working, they did not have time to take their children to the sea. And we know that when children, everybody, but especially children, if they are in nature, they develop much better. So I took the children to the sea 3 times a week. And I had with me a little one who was 18 months old, and he couldn't speak yet. So I did with him what I did with my daughters. I took him and I blew air in his face, and we plunged in the water, and we came out, and he was okay, But then when I went home, I said, oh my God, what did I do? A child that I don't know very well. So next time I did not take him. We didn't plunge in the water. I didn't blow in his face. He was sitting next to me, waiting and waiting without doing anything. Next time we went to the sea, he was next to me, but he probably thought, well, I don't think she has any intention to take me again with her. So he could not pronounce my name, Sofia. So he said, Fofi, Fofi, foo. So he wanted me to blow in his face and plunge in the water. He was so patient. And he understood that it was a good thing. I mean, it was not something that harmed him. So then I said, oh, okay, I was not wrong with him. Another quality is truthfulness. Children don't know to say lies. We teach them. When children start to say lies, we teach them. Because, for example, we tell them, I don't want to answer this phone. Tell them I'm not here. So the child goes to the phone and says, Mommy told me to tell you she's not here. Oh, isn't that wonderful? They don't know how to lie, you know? They are natural meditators, natural. If you watch a little one, you know, some months old, sitting in his little chair, he's looking at something. You think that his eyes are looking something, I mean, it's in another world. Nothing can disturb them, but we do. We go and say, something, you know, to take them out of that, because we don't consider they're doing something very, very serious that we also should do. But it is okay. We learn also with our children. They believe in themselves. They believe so much in themselves. If you tell to a child, oh, how beautiful you are, the probable answer is, yes, I know. So humbly, you know, and then they go and play. I mean, they're not very proud of that. No. It's something very simple. I know. And then they go to play that, whatever they were doing. They naturally believe what we grown-ups call as miracles, like fairies. For example, when we go to the woods, they say, well, I can see the fairies. They make the branches move, or they are very good appearances, like the other child who talked about, you know, this good man that was sitting at the end of the sofa, because they haven't lost this contact yet. Also, they believe, for example, I don't know, it happens here in Greece, it happens very often. Maybe it happens to you. When we cut, for example, our finger, we, without thinking, we just put it in our mouth, because our saliva, if we are well in ourselves, our saliva is a medicine. But the children believe in that. Maybe if you tell it to another person, they say, oh, that's a nonsense. Of course, we can heal. Just like that. The wound is cured quickly. Also, I remember when I had the kindergarten, I put my hands when a child, when somebody fall down, and I put my hand on the wound, and I say, okay, let's concentrate. You too. I asked the children to do it with me, and the pain went away. The children believe in that because they know it is so, because the pain went away. They are natural creators, like all the divine beings, all the sages. So they are natural creators. If you give them whatever, the pillows, the sand near the seaside, whatever, they make new things, you know, they create something. And of course, their imagination is so vivid. They also are very close to the arts. The arts are the doors that lead us to the spiritual world. Painting, music, sculpture, you name it. All the arts are the doors to the spiritual realm. Writing poems, yeah. And children, when they are very young, if we allow them, you know, if we don't criticize what they make poems. They make very beautiful poems. When we tell them a story, they don't mind to hear another one and another one and another one. Like we adults, okay, I heard that. Now I want to hear something else and something else. No, 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 no. We narrate the same story and again, and we have to say it in the same way. If we don't, they correct us. Okay? And especially they like those stories that remind them of some spiritual quality. Huh? They do not, the language we talk is not a boundary for them. It is a, okay, we agreed to say, this is a table, this is a pen, this is a paper, okay? But as when they are young, they do not stop with that. If there is another child who speaks another language, this happens a lot in our schools, the other child talks the other language and they communicate so well, they don't need anybody to translate, okay? I have seen it so many times happening. One child asked something in his own language and the other one answered in his own language, and they both understood perfectly well. So in our yoga classes, what we do, we don't teach children. They really don't need to be taught anything. Maybe we need to be taught by our children. So what we do is when they are young, they come with their mothers and I teach the mothers, and then the children sit there or go around, come and go, whatever. They are not obliged to sit with their parents, and they naturally imitate, absolutely in a natural way. They imitate what their parents do. And this is what they really do. They imitate the society. You see, when they go to school and if children have, I don't know how, iPads, iPods, iPhones and all these things, they want also to have some of these. But if in the family, we don't use them, they will not be a big part of their life. They like to be part of a group. So maybe they would like to imitate in the same way they imitate parents in a yoga group. So the goal of our yoga groups is, the only goal is to make children feel loved. Nothing else. Nothing else. It is so secondary, the postures, whatever we do it. But this is the, how can I say, the pretext that bring us together. We have to do something in the material world that will lead us to the spiritual world. And the basic thing is love. So the children, the little bit older ones, one day that we were celebrating the 21st of June, we were celebrating a yoga day. And so we didn't like to do go to these big marketplaces where everybody is selling something, and they prefer to do something to help people. So I said, well, what would you think about, let's go to the sea and clean up the sea and the seaside. And they did it with such a great happiness, joyfulness. And it came spontaneously. If you get into our site, we were lucky. We have it filmed. They created at that moment. They created a song, their own song. We are the children of yoga hug. So it was so beautiful because they felt that it was a hug, a big hug. The group we were. And I will finish with two characteristics of the children that show that they are great great teachers of the spiritual world. Have you heard what is the, how do we understand that the person is a yogi or a sage or whatever? Huh? He sleeps when he's tired, he eats when he's hungry, and he drinks when he's thirsty. That is the three things we say for that. So isn't that what the children do? I mean, the very young ones. And another characteristic, they teach us without intention. They do not intend to teach anybody about anything, but they teach us all the time. One time again, I was in the kindergarten and I was talking to the two children, and but I intended I was talking to a girl, and a boy was next to her, and he thought I was talking to him as well. And I said, "You are a very nice girl." And he said, I'm no girl." And I said, "Of course, you are a great man. How could you be a girl?" Because I was afraid I said something he was not very pleased. And he corrected me. He said, "No, I'm George." He did not accept what I said, that he's a great man, you know. It was my fear that maybe he would be, not feel very well because he thought I said he's a girl. But no, I'm George. Nothing, he did not accept my my exaggeration. But he taught me, you don't need to exaggerate to tell me something. Just say what it is. Yeah. So these are two very very strong characteristics of the children, that they're really really our teachers. So yeah, that's what I had to say. Maybe we could make it a big I'm intending to write a book about this way of children, but yeah, I try to make it a little bit shorter. We can, if you think we need to ask something, whatever,